It's one of those interviews, and I have all the respect for Jim Rutherford, man. I love him. Always good to me. Works his ass off. But this, in my opinion, was just kind of one of those where you kind of got him, you know? And Kyrou needs to do a better job of knowing what he's saying and whatnot. He's not a kid. He's 25 years old. But the way this blew up in a matter of like 3 hours, really? When did this start blowing up? Like 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon, I think, right?
Well, Kyrou said he saw it after he got up from his nap.
Yeah, which is a god-awful feeling, by the way. You know what I mean? You're
about 2 o'clock.
You're sleeping tight. You're like, oh, I'm going to have a good game tonight, da-da-da-da. And all of a sudden you wake up and your phone's blowing up. Everybody's reaching you. Yeah, because I was doing interviews about Berube, and no one even asked me about that. Then I look at my phone. I'm like, oh, damn. You read that like verbatim, like, whoa, what did he say? But then you kind of dig into it a little bit.
So the initial thing that blew up, because JR is a great dude.
Great dude.
Really good writer. Players like him.
Yeah.
But this one maybe kind of set up Kyrou. I don't think it was intentional. And Kyrou was asked about Berube in the aftermath of the firing, and he said, no comment, he's not my coach anymore.
While walking away, I heard.
But to me, so then it started blowing up. And I'll be honest, like, it's not a terrible answer. The context is terrible because, A, Berube was beloved. Fans believe he was scapegoated. And he was to a certain extent, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
Even Armstrong said it's not his fault. And one of the reasons why he was fired was because players weren't performing, and the prime example was Kyrou.
Yeah.
So that's the reason it blew up. But what he said to me, I tweeted, I'll explain my tweet, that he kind of channeled his inner Lance Lynn, not my coach, no comment, which is something a player would say, except the context was wrong. But I said, now the main thing is, I said, I'm okay with what he said. Now he just has to play better. That's the key. He's got to play better.
But he answered all these questions yesterday, too. You know what I mean? And I think he was just sick and tired. He was done with it, and he's walking away, and he kind of just threw that out at the last. His last just like, okay, I'm done talking about it. Then you quote that out. You start posting it. He's already, he was already getting chirped pretty good this year. You know what I mean? Like big time.
And deservedly so.
Rightfully so, absolutely. And you're on pace for 18 goals or whatever it is now. He had a nice assist last night to Bauchi. Maybe should have took a one-timer, but you gave it back to him. Bucci got the one-timer, but whatever. But I do think that he was done talking about it, and he's kind of walking away, and, you quote that, and it blew up so damn fast, like it truly did. But again, I think that he just wasn't thinking, which he should because he's 25 years old, and the camera's going to be around him because he's making $8 million a year. Again, he's not a kid. He's 25. But I do think that he just wasn't thinking. I don't think there's any kind of, like, I'm gonna kick Berube when he's down, kind of like I did to Andy Murray.
You don't think that was disrespectful?
No.
Really?
I think that it was dumb, but I don't think he was trying to be disrespectful. No, I don't.
I think he was.
I don't think so.
Did anyone else make a comment like that? I mean, by the way, before we got on the air, Cole, we were talking, and I just agree that he had the opportunity. By the way, I'm glad that, in my opinion, he told the truth, I think. I think he was in a spot where, hey, probably didn't love playing for Coach Berube. We've all talked about this for the last year and a half. Berube's beloved. He didn't give, we crush dudes for the cliche answer. And now, in my opinion, we're crushing a guy for being honest. And I do think this isn't the end of the world, but I think it was slightly disrespectful to the guy who just got fired, who won a cup here. And I'm sure every player was asked about it. And even if you don't like Coach, you can give the cliche answer. So, again, I'm not going to rip him because he was honest. And then at night, he had to basically kind of eat the crap sandwich, and the fans booed. And I think that's going to be a one-night thing.
Yeah,
I do.
I agree with that.
Unless he starts, he has to play better.
Yeah.
Or he's going to be continually booed because he's the guy that they said is our future. And he had a nice assist. They're not paying him for assists. They want goals.
They're paying him for offense.
They want a more explosive version of Kyrou, which we know is in there.
But that was not why they booed, though.
No,
they booed. Let me ask you this.
I didn't say that.
It was building up.
I said
hold
the
on.
boos will continue if he doesn't play well.
Do you think they would have, let's just say the fan base, who I think already kind of thought, well, in a way, Kyrou got Berube fired. Is that fair to say in a general sense?
Yeah,
okay.
As I said, that's part of the context of this.
So if Kyrou doesn't make that comment, though, I don't think he's booed.
No.
No.
Unless he gives a puck up on the power play or at the end of the game, he might get booed for that. But he was booed when he was introduced in the starting lineup. It started there. I started looking at Twitter. I'm like, oh, boy.
That's the context of this thing. He said something that I think could have been taken as, I'm not going to get caught in a trap here.
Yeah.
Right? Let's move on. I could understand how it's taken as disrespectful. Okay? I get that. But in context, he's the guy that got Berube run out of town in the eyes of some people. He's one of the main culprits of the team. So that's the context of this thing. And I think it will carry on unless he starts playing better, because he's already kind of the villain now for a team that's underperforming. They have to win, and he has to perform better.
But again, I think that he wasn't trying to be disrespectful.
I disagree.
I completely disagree with that.
I'm with you.
I'm just telling you.
He didn't say anything. He basically said,
"Get me out of here."
I'm moving on.
I'm moving on.
I'm not getting caught in
the
this.
whole time. Yep. And JR kind of got him a little bit. And I think last night JR felt bad about it too. He did.
But Kyrou got himself.
That's fine. But I'm telling you, I don't think he was trying to be disrespectful. I just think that he kind of had a brain fart on what he said.
Do you think
Saying I have no comment?
Yeah.
Did he say anything? Because last night in the 3 minutes, which I'm sure we'll play, he did say a lot of nice things about Craig Berube. Did he say anything like that earlier?
From the day before?
No. From
that
the whole controversy started at the skate.
Yeah.
Did he say any of those things about Berube at the skate?
Don't know. That's
well, wouldn't we know?
Well, that doesn't. If you say, I mean, you know how that goes. Like, you probably said a bunch of things. You're going to clip that off? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But again, I'm just saying.
I think you would have read if he said, "Hey, this guy was really helpful to get me to this point." You would have read that.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't
but
listen.
I wasn't there.
Yeah,
I wasn't there.
I don't know.
I don't think there was video or audio of that part.
No, there wasn't.
I heard about it when I was driving downtown, and I heard about it on the radio.
But I believe they were just talking, and finally he's going to get up and leave. And maybe that last question came out, and he's just like, "Man, he's not my coach anymore. I'm getting in the shower and getting out of here. I got a game night." And then it blew up. So I don't know, man. That was tough. It was weird to see, a star player like that who hasn't really done anything bad off the ice or whatnot get booed off the bat, and that blow up so freaking fast, dude. 3 hours. 3 hours till game time, and everybody knew to boo him. I mean, God, you look on social media, it's everywhere. You know what I mean? And you read the comments like, God almighty. But I will say this. I think, the way Andy presented those questions last night after the game, man, like he looked vulnerable. Like he looked down, dude. Like that wasn't a fake crocodile tears or whatever you want to call it. No, he was. Could you imagine that? Look, I know he's 25 and I know he's making a ton of money. He's guaranteed a ton of money. I get all that, You only feel so sorry for certain people. I understand that. But watching him get emotional afterwards, the team you played for, for years, and they devote so much money and time, and you've been devoted so much time in the city, now the fans turn on you just like that, and they start booing you. I've never seen anything like that.
And good job by Strick, because I think the way he asked the questions, totally appropriate. Let's take a listen, courtesy of
Bally Sports North. Bally Sports North.
There it is, Cole. You're on your game.
Cole is too good for Bally.
Obviously respect Chief. He's been my coach for the whole time I've been here, right? So, I respect everything he's done here. He's done a great job. He won a cup, right? So, all I really meant was, I'm just trying to focus on my future and, focus on what I can do to help my team win. So that's all I really meant.
Jordan, how difficult is it to have the fan base react the way they did tonight? Were you hearing the boos on the ice?
Yeah, definitely heard those. It's not easy, obviously, but I see where they're coming from, with how my comments sounded. So, it's definitely tough. I love playing here. I love playing in front of the fans. So, yeah.
What would you want to say about Craig Berube? He's mentioned that he was your coach for a long time, but how did he impact your career? What can you say about that?
Yeah, helped me in a lot of ways, right? It's really helped me round out my game and try to be a more complete player. So, like I said, I respect him as a guy, and no hate towards him at all.
When did you find out that the comments kind of blew up?
No, just earlier the day after I woke up from my nap.
What, if anything, would you want to say to the fans?
I mean, just, sorry if it sounded in a bad way at all. I mean, just like I said, I'm just really trying to focus on the future here and focus on what I can do to, help our team win and, help get wins for the boys. So.
How were you able to focus then tonight? And you feel like you had it?
It's definitely the toughest game I've probably played, to be honest. But
Any of your teammates or anybody from the organization talk to you about it?
I mean, obviously my teammates have my back, right? So.
You're getting pretty emotional here. What are the emotions coming from?
I mean, it's just tough, right? Like, I love playing here, so it's tough to hear the fans booing me there. Sorry.
Jordan, they'll obviously come around. I mean, they know you want to be here, play hard, and produce for them. I mean, do you feel like, it's just a bump in the road that it can be overcome and they'll love you again?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, I just want to focus on my future and focus on, trying to be a more complete player and, what I can do to help the team win, right? So, that's just my goal right now.
Teammates have anything to say to you, too, just to back you up and give you some positive reinforcement, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we had a great game as a team today, right? So, we played well. We're playing fast, aggressive, and I mean, yeah, we all had each other's backs today. So.
Jordan, that moment after the Buchnevich goal looked like Buchnevich pointed at you. Rob looked like he was pretty happy for you. What's that moment mean?
I mean, it's just a big game for us. It was a big goal for us there. So, I'm just glad I could help contribute there.
All right. Yeah, man, that's, again, I know a lot of people are like, he needed a shake-up. He needed to be humbled. Yeah, I get you guys. I do. But to see somebody get that emotional, the fans, man, they're powerful, You could be a stud athlete. You could be on top of the world, get all the girls, have the money. But, the fans hate you, like it gets into your soul. You know what I mean?
To me, there should be a lesson learned from players. Understand the context.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly
Still his
believe
fault.
I don't think he wanted to praise Berube, but I also think he didn't want to get caught in a gotcha, so he kind of just walked away and threw that out there. But you also got to think a step ahead and understand the context. Berube was beloved.
Yeah.
And you're going to show disrespect with your answer that way, and it's going to be taken in that way. And guess who's going to pay the price? You are.
I know, but again, I just think that I just think it was taken out of context, and I think he messed up. And you still need to know where you're at and what you're saying. You're not a kid. You're getting paid a lot of money.
You think it was out of context?
Well, I think that.
And JR to me, I look at this too. I know it's early. I texted JR because I want context on what happened at the skate. JR to me is not a gotcha guy.
No, I know
at all.
No,
it never has been.
Agreed.
I agree with that, but I do think that he was just trying to walk away and just kind of trying to just end the conversation.
I think he was trying to not step in it.
Yeah, but
he could have said something nice, and he could have said, "We wish him the best. We appreciate his efforts." Then Cole would have said, boring hockey player.
Yeah.
That would have been better, though, for him. But I appreciate the honesty, truthfully.
Yes.
I think he thought 100%. He was going to get a little snipe, and it really backfired. And honestly...
And he's not built to be the villain, clearly.
And look, you don't react emotionally like that unless you really screwed up.
Yeah.
You don't. You just don't.
No, he did screw up.
And what he said, it was a snipe because he didn't take the opportunity to say something nice. Basically, he said okay, I'm moving on.
Well, do we know the rest of the
If he would have just
conversation?
said, I don't want to talk about it, I'm moving on, it's kind of the same thing. Either way, I don't really care. I don't know Kyrou at all, but I got the sense that's a young guy who realized that he's one of the reasons why Berube's not around, and he don't want to step in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know what the rest of the conversation was with JR and Kyrou, but I don't know. It's just crazy, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
No one's blaming JR. JR is the best of us.
Who shot
and to be fair, by the way, it looks like, because JR has been very active on Twitter last night, and he said he wanted a lot of time and space meaning article space, to really write what happened. So it sounds like probably very soon today he will write a complete story on the day.
I disagree with you, though. Who's mad at JR? Oh, I bet there's a couple people. For sure.
Players? Blues personnel?
God, yeah. Hell yeah. you know. But hey, you know, I got too. You know what I mean? It was still
You
my
call that
fault.
got though?
In my situation, I don't know. God, it just was one of those things. I thought we were just off, and I was walking, kind of the same thing, walking away. Like, I don't think he knew where I stood, whatever, where the team stood, or whatever the hell I said. And then that was it, in the top quote, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you read your GM slash media man who came up and interviewed. You were like, crap.
I'm like, damn. Like, okay. But anyway, that just was bizarre. Has that ever happened? Have we ever seen Blues fans to Cardinals to Rams back in the day? Has anybody ever got booed like that? Specific person on your team? Do you remember?
I'm trying to think.
You know?
Maybe Tino Martinez a little.
For performance.
Yeah.
Remember when I first got here? Fans were booing Izzy a little bit. Remember, he had a lot of blown saves, but that wasn't a. This is a little more personal. I mean, I know Kyrou's not playing well, but this was all about. I think in a weird way, I don't want to say it was cool because that's not the right word, but it shows you the love, respect, admiration for Chief in this town. Even the man who was just fired. And I know we joke around about Twitter polls. It's not a scientific poll, but all these polls show that literally no one blames Chief.
Yeah, I know.
And by the way, I think Chief has blame. I think when you have a poor season, everyone's to blame. Management, coaching staff, players. There's always a percentage of blame going to everyone. But Chief is beloved. He's blue collar. As a player, he was a fighter. Blues fans love him. Mm-hmm. I know every cliche. He's a lunch pail dude. He's beloved. And fans really think these young guys who got paid before they deserve it, they're the reasons Chief got fired. I think that's the prevailing narrative, which isn't that far off.
Did you see that?
That is the narrative. That's why this thing snowballed in the way that it did.
In 3 hours. Scary.
Because people blame, if there's a poster boy of why Berube isn't here, it's Kyrou, right? I mean.
Well, hey, the audio of the post game in Detroit with Berube before he got fired, if we could pull that up, I don't know if you can, but he went off. We didn't play that, and I just it popped up throughout the chaos yesterday, and I'm like, damn. I didn't listen to it. He went off on the players, and that sparked a ton of different things, and rightfully so.
And that was an ESPN game, correct? So Bally's probably didn't have the post.
Yeah, okay, that's probably what
Bally,
it was.
I mean,
we'll blame Bally's.
We can call them cheap jokers and everything.
Is that why? Yeah, you're right.
But if we don't that's like we get sound. I know the Blues put it out, but Bally's puts it up quickly, whatever the post game sound is, and it does get a lot of traction, so more people see it from there.
Can I give a shout out too?
Yeah.
Even though this is I say air quotes controversy. It's interesting. It is. I give the Blues a lot of credit, though, because I've been in a lot of scrums for a lot of different sports and a lot of different teams.
Yep.
And when there's a player who's clearly wearing it, and I think Kyrou had to wear it for one night. I do. I think one night he had to wear it.
That's fine.
And no Blues PR person stepped in and cut anybody off.
Boom.
And they basically look. If you want to talk about the journalism and all that, I get that. That's a debate to be had. I've been in a lot of scrums where a player's wearing it and a PR person cuts it off early, or, hey, we got to go, and they basically let the reporters ask questions. I think Kyrou had to wear it for about 3 minutes. I do think after tonight, I don't think he'll be booed like that, in my opinion. We'll see. But I think that kind of had to happen. And credit to the Blues. They put all that sound out there. They didn't hide it, and they didn't step in when their guy – now, you might make the argument, maybe they should have. But I think, you know what? You let them finish for 3 minutes. Kyrou has his one crap sandwich night, and then we all move on.
Where, like, the Rams
Good call, Charlie.
The Rams used to do that. Cardinals, there's no way PR would jump, because that's kind of like.
But guys also can hide and not even come out.
Him crying
That's
afterwards was the best thing for him, in my opinion. So if they would have interviewed him afterwards and he's just like, well, you know, things happen. I got to play. No, he showed emotion, and that's really going to help him. I bet you, coming Saturday night when they play Dallas, he'll get like a standing ovation or something. I bet he will.
Unless
I bet you.
What if they lose and he continues to? That's my point.
I'm saying at the beginning.
Okay.
I'm saying at the very beginning.
Because I think
just a show.
I think the snowball can keep rolling if they keep losing and he underperforms. Then he'll still be the bad guy in all this because he's an easy target now.
He's a very easy target.
But if he has a 2-goal or a hat trick game, all that goes away.
I think he just looked vulnerable enough to where he doesn't look like the cocky kid kicking Berube when he's down. And now they're like, oh, wow, okay. No, that did get to him. So I think that was healthy, and I do think he's going to go out and he's going to have a hell of a game tomorrow night. And I bet you these fans, I know them, man. Like these fans, like they're on you. And then they see a little different side of you, then they like you again. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Blues fans were getting bashed a lot on the old Twitter machine
Really?
I saw last night. Oh yeah,
I bet.
Other fan bases were
Really?
just taking aim at the Blues. They're like, this is really what you did to this guy?
Yeah, well, it's just, hey, man,
And those
you're in
other
the
fans
mix,
don't have
dude.
any context whatsoever, so they don't know what they're talking about. Blues fans, do your thing.
Your highs are high. Sometimes your lows are low, man, even when you're a professional athlete. Trust me on that. It was weird seeing Drew Bannister behind a bench, though. Right off the bat, I'm like, ooh. Who is that guy?
Well, they played
Where's
great.
my guy at?
They played great.
They played pretty damn. Ottawa sucks.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, Brady. I love you. We're gonna play your fight.
They're about right where the Blues are in terms of record or whatever. But the Blues went out and they outshot them 12-1 to start. It was 1-0. It could in that first period. It could have been 3 or 4-0.
Yeah.
They were dominating everything. Like they were out hitting early on.
Thomas.
They controlled every puck battle. Thomas was all
baby.
over the place. I mean, it was crazy.
What's up, Cole?
Cat, I need help. 636 says Kyrou just had his Colton Wong moment. What's he talking about?
Where he got picked off.
Maybe.
And
Yeah.
that Colton brought up every
That
single interview.
not even-
That wasn't a big game, though. Oh, it was the World Series?
Oh,
that was the World Series. I wasn't playing Ottawa.
Here's the difference, too. All due respect, because I have nothing against Kyrou. Kyrou's kind of always been chirped by the fan base. Colton Wong is beloved. He was beloved here.
I agree.
yeah. No, there's a big difference.
And can I say about Mr. Bannister? Let me take my reporter hat off because I'm such a journalist.
You are.
But when this
And you've
happened,
been following him.
I have. But look,
Yeah. It's all
I'm a Chief guy.
Yeah.
I really like Chief.
Yeah.
This is personal. Like when I say I like Chief, he's just like a good dude. He's a guy that you want to be the coach of your team. He's just a cool guy. And so when he got fired, I know, but I kind of thought, well, now if the Blues do well, people are going to say he was the reason. And I understand that. Sometimes you need a change of scenery. But my point is, this is just from two little media availabilities at the skate and the post game. In the 5 to 10 minutes I've now watched Drew Bannister, I really like him.
Yeah.
I really do. Like his post game, even the first question was, your first NHL win. It's not about me. And he just moved right on. He said the right things about Kyrou. He didn't sugarcoat it. He goes, yeah, he's not playing well, but he did it in a respectful, just a coach manner. And just in 10 minutes, I'm like, now I'm rooting for this guy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And he looks like Rick
Good call on
Carlisle.
that, man.
And you know,
and in better shape, Rick Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle.
you said too.
NBA coach.
I'm not blowing it up here. I'm not reinventing the wheel. There were obviously some issues with getting the players to have the kind of energy they expect, and because he's coached so many of them, they know what I expect.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we can bring some of what we've had before back up here. I thought what he said was great. But the thing about Berube, because we all love him, I don't know anyone that didn't like him, is he gets fired for an underperforming
Kyrou being one of them.
Right. So that's my point. For an underperforming team,
Yeah.
and fans are mad, like, he's not the problem. Why did Berube get fired? It's Kyrou. Like here's the mob with their torches and their pitchforks.
You're
and
right.
And then what does he say? He says something that to me wasn't that disrespectful. In hindsight, he wouldn't have said it that way. But I don't think he meant. I honestly don't think.
I don't either.
He could have said something. It was his choice. He could have said how helpful Berube was. But I think because the pitchforks were out and people were like, who are we blaming?
It's him.
It's him. Get him. And then he
did it.
And then he takes.
I know.
And then he
it was
did.
clearly a snipe.
He did.
Yes.
And then he
Clearly a
takes
snipe.
gasoline and throws it on the fire.
And then when he's asked to defend, 100%. 100%. And now he's the villain.
It's all right. You get booed.
Get him.
Get him.
Get him.
I don't know.
He did it.
I know he did.
Nobody would have booed him. Nobody would have booed him.
I know he messed up, but I just don't.
And by the way,
I don't think it was.
It was just a little snipe.
Jordan Kyrou went all cliche in the little 3-minute piece when he was asked to clarify his thoughts. And any thoughts on Craig Berube? He said, I respected him and he helped me round out my game. He never said I liked him.
Doesn't matter.
He said the bare minimum.
That's what he should have said in the first place.
You don't have to like all your coaches.
Be cliche, but when you're not, I like it better. Thank you for being honest.
That's the thing. Look, it's hard for me to crush the kid, and I haven't. We're talking about it. It's obviously interesting, but I believe the first time around he was honest. I believe he was honest the first time. Then he ate a crap sandwich. He woke up from his nap. Twitter had exploded. He probably had 1,000 texts. Everybody on Twitter's hating him. He plays the game. He's getting booed. Then the cliches came, in my opinion.
I just think if he was interviewing Braden Shin, and Shinner's like getting annoyed, like I'm done with it, and Shinner walked up and said, I can't. He's not my coach anymore. I don't know if he'd clip that off and post it. It's just my opinion.
But we don't know how the interview, and again, I just DM'd him. I know he's busy or sleeping, but do we know how
probably
that...
doing radio.
Right, but do we know how, probably everywhere on
I
earth,
a ton of text messages. Hey, give me JR's number. Give me JR. I go, there you go. There you go.
Hot Take Central needs an exclusive.
I heard he was very emotional after the game.
He works for 101, I think.
JR was.
Yeah, also maybe...
I mean, if he's looking at that, he's probably like, whoa, oh boy. You know what I mean? Like, you don't, you know.
You had to know it was going to blow up.
Well, yeah. You know what I mean? So, God, what drama. The Cardinals are like, ooh. Keep going.
How's our rotation? How's our rotation looking now?
Look now, baby. You know what I mean?
Nobody hates our manager.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, wait a second.
God almighty. Hey, Tyler Tucker, Brady Kachuk. My God. Throwing bombs, baby. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's go.
Tucker and Brady Kachuk. And Kachuk, a good scrapper with a right. Tucker fights back with a couple of big rights by Tucker. And now Kachuk has lost his helmet. This is a heavyweight
Uppercuts,
battle.
God.
And another right by
Brady's
Tucker.
coming back. Damn.
Kachuk trying to fight back, and they go
That was a good
down.
fight. I know it's hard on the radio, but
about to say, great radio.
Terrible. That was terrible. But
He knocked his bucket off.
they were going toe to toe, baby.
Tucker won that. Tucker won that.
Yeah, he did. He was throwing straight uppercuts. He never lost his grip. Brady was kind of wild on that. They showed his Walt and all them. Walt's is staring like, don't get hurt. I bet you Walt is like, man, Brady needs to calm down a little bit. Like, because he went crazy the other day in a shootout. The goalie came and did a Dominic Hasek spread, come and spread the paddle out. And Brady kind of tripped over him, got up, tried to fight. I'm like, look, Ottawa sucks. They take penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty. They're not organized. I can't believe DJ Smith has a job right now, to be completely honest with you. Good guy. But, like, Brady's the guy that has to get the team pumped up. Brady's the guy that has to score. Brady's the guy that has to be the lead. It's a lot.
You don't want the guy
getting pissed.
that has to score to be the guy
Fighting
that has
Tucker?
to fight.
And Tyler Tucker's like, I don't care if we're up. I'm going to get you off the ice. I'm a 6th defenseman. I'll get you off the ice. You know?
That's a bad trade. And if I were Big
is a bad
Walt,
trade.
I would have said, go after Kyrou.
Yeah.
Because then the crowd would have been behind you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Drama, man. Drama. I'm glad you didn't bring up that Drew Bannister, though. You're right, man. He seems pretty cool. Sometimes you just need to change. I didn't even notice Vladdy last night. Didn't even notice him.
He plays for the Ottawa Senators.
Didn't even notice him.
He did get a penalty. That rule change. If you trip someone, I think he got the trip.
Yeah.
So if you get the puck away, if you knock the puck away and then a guy trips, it used to be that wasn't a penalty.
It shouldn't be if you hit the puck first.
But now it's a rule change. Even if you get the puck and you trip the guy, it's a penalty. Because it was actually a nice play last year for Tarasenko.
I didn't even notice him. What were you going to say?
Well, I didn't want to get back to this, but JR did respond to me.
What do you say?
Well, I was just asking, did Kyrou say anything else about Berube? And he said, so JR had 2 tweets.
Yeah.
The first tweet was on Bannister taking over. And the quote is, yeah, it kind of feels like a little bit of a fresh start kind of thing. Yeah, we're all excited here. We want to turn the ship around right now and get our culture back a little bit and get back to how we know how to play hockey, end quote. That was the first tweet, which, of course, didn't blow up. The next tweet, Kyrou on relationship with Berube, quote, I've got no comment. He's not my coach anymore, end quote.
All right. Actually, Benner had a good quote the other day, too. He said, if you don't want to play here, get the hell out or something like that. The bend down.
People said that was directed at Kyrou.
Cease, Louise. What drama, man. Get him in, by the way. Audi Exchange text line in Kirkwood, 855-282-8255. Let's see here. Blowing up, man, of course. Jordan Baldwin Bandit chimes in and goes, Jordan Kyrou equals huge bitch. Crying because he got booed. Play the effing game up to your contract, you little weasel. Oh, come on now.
Hextall.
Come on now.
I'm not ready. Let me go find it.
Come on now.
It's in the Nate folder. Let me get it.
That's a doozy, though, you know. Let's see here. Colby Rasmus's dad chimes in. The ESPN alert last night said Kyrou was emotional and teary-eyed. Watching the video, it seemed like he was very unemotional. What are you talking about, dude?
He had to stop talking.
He's saying crocodile tears.
No. Those are real. Come on.
Just go to my YouTube and watch it.
I mean, come on.
What?
Oh, I did see that 590 Mike flag flying in the wind, baby.
Oh, David Solomon.
What's up?
Yeah.
What question did he ask?
Oh, come on now.
Just collecting sound.
Andy hogged it.
Andy was great.
Andy's got Berube on today.
On Hockey Sense?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to listen to that.
Yeah,
Strick is the man. Strick,
Berube
you are
got right back
Strick.
there.
You are the man.
Damn right. You
Wow,
need,
that's
you
know
need
what?
him in the mix.
By the way, credit Andy, 590 The Fan. I mean, what interview would you rather listen to than Craig Berube the day after this happens and a couple days after he's fired?
There you go.
I'm tuning into that. Is that right at 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock.
3 in the P, baby.
I don't think Berube's going to be in here, but Andy will be in here at 9 o'clock.
I mean, it's a big time for Strick. He made Kyrou cry.
He did.
Yeah.
And then he
had a big night. Then he had a big night the other night with neighbors and stuff like that. He's on a roll down there. Let's see. Charlie's 100% dead on, and Rutherford is a professional. He would definitely post if Shin said it. Okay. I'm just saying. Maybe he would. I just think, I don't know. I just think that he's just walking away and was just like, hey, I can't. I'm sick of talking about this.
But do you know that he was walking away?
That's what I heard, but I could be wrong. You know what I mean? I think the Blues didn't do any favors by Kyrou by immediately moving him to the top line. Everybody was kind of angry that he was a part of the Berube being fired. Then he made those comments, and then Bannister comes out and act like a therapist and talk about what a great everybody is. Then right away he's on the top line. It just looked like it was a slap to the face for Berube. That's why he bore the brunt of it. You want to get your top guy going, so you put him on the first line and see what he could do. You're reading way too much into it, okay?
Your $8.5 million guy should be on the top line.
Thank you, Charlie. Come on. You guys, it's a little bit too much. No big deal. Love you, but it's all good. Let's see here. Keep them coming, by the way. Kyrou will be fine. The Boo Birds warranted for a game. Fans will move on. Kyrou will too. Side note, David Solomon looks like Booger from Revenge of the Nerds, all grown up. Flipper Bean.
Great movie, great character.
Great character.
Booger. I love David Solomon.
You love David Solomon.
I
Booger
get the
ain't getting
reference.
them hits.
I told JR, I said, please never go after me. He said, you're next.
Oh, that's funny, man. Let's see here. They keep coming. Didn't Cam put a bounty on Strickland? Yes, I did, but I took it off because I'm a good guy.
That's from Rob Boof.
Question. I have a question for you. It's the first thing I thought of now. I mean, are you like Andy? Do we do an emergency podcast with Chief? I mean, Andy bringing it to 590.
No, I know. We talked about it. You know what I mean? He just wants to get this now. We'd have to go to the studio, set it all up. We already got a podcast after this anyway. Just be a pain in the ass.
Listen, Strick is like,
let him pump up 590.
That's what I'm
Strick
saying.
is like, let's get this on 590.
I'm not stealing
I'm
that.
happy about it.
I'm not stealing it.
Now you'll play it.
I want it here.
You'll play the clips afterwards.
Yeah.
As you should.
Oh God, yeah. Cam, quit being a blue simp and admit it was intentional and disrespectful.
Yeah, you rights holder.
We get you probably want him on the pod someday, but keep it real. No, I mean now I do, but beforehand I didn't. He's not a good interview.
Talk about video games.
No
Simp.
offense.
You simp.
I mean, no offense.
But hey,
I'm just letting you know,
Andy knows how to interview.
I don't really give a damn. But I just think that it was just one of those things where he just kind of said the wrong thing. I don't think he was trying to be a dick. I really don't. I think he was kind of dumb at the time. He just said the wrong thing.
Because he's trying not to step in anything, and he made it.
He made it worse.
And he stepped right in by not. I agree with you.
I don't.
So
good.
We love Berube more than you do. No, we love him more.
I know.
It's not about.
No.
We all love Berube. But again, I'm not even mad. I'm not mad because I think he was honest. I truly do. I think he was being honest.
I hope they.
What did he say? He said no comment.
He's not my
coach anymore.
We're moving on.
I'm moving on.
Because you've been asked 50 times the past 2 days.
You know exactly. Did he think it was going to blow up in that manner?
No.
Hell no. But he knows exactly what he's saying. He knows what he's saying by not saying it.
Yeah, he's moving on. I hope they boo that chump every time he touches the puck the rest of the year. You can't make a comment like that about a coach who brought this city their first cup. Have some damn self-awareness, you child.
Who's that?
The Wombat don't play.
But what did he say that was, he said he's not my coach anymore.
No, I mean.
He didn't say, well, you watch, we're going to take off from here.
Yeah.
Or now maybe we could get back to playing hockey.
Or like he did what I said, like, I don't know where we stood with Andy Murray, like that's a direct like smack in his face, man.
But hold on,
is that what you said?
Yes,
really?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your honesty to the media.
Well, I didn't know I thought it was all.
Oh,
it was.
Who'd you say it to?
Did people boo you?
Danny O'Neill.
Oh, really?
No, because
no
one loved Andy Murray.
That's the point.
No one loved him.
Were they rooting for you?
No.
This blew up in a little way. Yours. I remember talking about it.
You probably chirped me on the radio. I had to listen to guys like you chirping me on the radio. My dad's texting. I'm just saying.
We had you on the show all the time.
Oh, my point is.
If he had a YouTube, he would have killed you.
He would have got me. No,
by the way,
I was
no,
getting
hold
bashed.
on. Hold on. Now we could. The audio is probably playing right now on a different HD2 station, but I remember being on the show that day.
Yeah.
That Andy Murray came on the show.
Yes.
Like a day or two after. That's when he goes, Cam's a 3-minute player.
Mm-hmm. And that blew up.
That was on. That was on that show.
I felt like an ass.
But again, did it blow up? Was it a fun little topic? Yes. This is blown up in the entire hockey world. It's probably the first thing Canadians are talking about with their Tim Hortons.
Yeah. I'm just saying. So that's how I look at it. It's just kind of one of those things. Like, I'm done talking about it. He's not a coach anymore. I'm done. I'm moving on. But just everything piled up. I don't know. I get sensitive sometimes, Charlie Marlowe.
That's not a gotcha question. What's your relationship with
No, I know.
Craig Berube? Come on.
I get you. I get you on that.
I got a little suspicion.
What do you think?
I could be wrong because the more you suspect, the more likely you are to be incorrect. But I'm going to suspect anyway. I suspect if this were a Cardinals player and that quote were leaked out, if like Ollie got fired or something, you'd be like, "Oh man, you can't say that to the media."
Well,
I think you're a little bit more sensitive to it being a Blues player.
Not even whatsoever. I just know a little bit more inside things that I heard about it. That's all.
What'd you hear?
Well, just kind of that.
He said he was walking away. That it was a throwaway line.
Yeah, just little things like that. You know what I mean? You didn't have to quote that.
And there wouldn't have been a backlash to this because the Cardinals just had an awful season where the heat was totally on Ollie all season. For things he did, things he didn't do, whatever. And in this case, the Blues. I mean, even Armstrong said it. We're playing for the last playoff spot. This wasn't a team that everyone had penciled into the playoffs, and then they've been not good, but not as bad as the Cardinals. I don't think there's a lot of parallels. If Ollie had gotten fired and someone chirped him, I don't think there would have been that kind of backlash because a lot of people would have said, "Oh, he's telling the truth, right on." I just don't think that it's the same thing.
Well, I don't think then Kyrou defended himself very well because he had the chance to say, "Listen, it was taken out of context. I was kind of walking away. I was just trying to end the interview, blah, 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 blah." And what he said was, "I respect Chief, and he made me a more complete player."
Because he knows he screwed up.
Yeah. I know.
And
he did screw
guess
up.
what? Also,
he did.
He screwed up by saying it. He didn't screw up by saying something he didn't mean.
Correct.
I don't think.
I agree with you. You know
you.
what? It gets back to that Gladiator quote. You control the crowd. Guess what? He didn't.
No.
He had 20,000 people disagreeing with him and loving Chief and pointing their arrows at him. And again, I hope it's just one night. I'm not glad it happened, but I think Blues fans are good sports fans. They were pissed about Chief. I think they were pissed about the comment. Jordan Kyrou makes a lot of money. He's not very productive. Throw that all in a bucket. One night. And I hope from now on they let the dude play and not let. They can do whatever the hell they want. They're fans. They pay a lot of hard-earned money to go to the games. But I hope that's a one-night thing.
I think it will be. Because it's not healthy. It's not healthy for the organization.
This is like me with the first night with the horse meme in Wayno. It's like I deleted it because I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I would. It's not. It's not that I didn't think it.
I mean, I was dying laughing.
8675309.
Oh man!
And by the way, JR, I know we joke around about legit journos and all that. He is.
No doubt.
And
he
if
is.
it's on,
Journos.
my point though is that if it's on the record and if it's in the dressing room, I understand if it's, hey man, if you're texting each other, if you see somebody at the bar, hey man, off the record, I get that.
Yeah.
But also, if you are a journalist and people say those things, your job is not to be a friend to the players.
You're right.
Your job is to be somebody who chronicles what's happening and kind of be a conduit to the fans. So if somebody says something, you also have a journalistic obligation to report what's being said.
That's true.
Unless it's Joe Kelly,
That's true.
By him.
because he's my friend.
Yeah. Well,
After the third goal by St. Louis, the TV camera focused on Doug Armstrong. He looked a bit disgusted, possibly thinking, so why wouldn't this team play with this energy shown tonight for Coach Berube? It's kind of disgusting, really.
that is. Now we're really stretching. They put a camera on him, and he didn't even say anything, and now you're telling me what he thinks?
You could tell by his facial expression.
Now we're going too far.
Yeah, they're getting deep today, man.
I got a question, though.
Yeah, what's up?
Now, it's not exactly similar. Remember a couple weeks back, Greg Popovich, he grabbed the microphone in the arena and said,
Embarrassing.
"You stop booing Kawhi
What?
Leonard. We don't do that."
Embarrassing.
What if Drew Bannister
move that was?
What if Drew Bannister in his first game ever went and found some microphone somewhere and said, "You stop booing our
Then
player
we chirped
Jordan
the
Kyrou"?
living hell out of him.
I would have fired him on the air
Get
after
out of
his
here.
first game.
That was so goofy. You can act like a man, Kyrou. Is this what $8 million turns into? Some big shot that cries like a woman. Nothing wrong with that. Men and women cry, just so everybody knows. My estimation of you just freaking plummeted. Your coach turned into pumpkin, but even Cinderella didn't cry. In all seriousness, I think this was overblown. Mailman Anthony.
Okay, can I give a thought it's not apples to apples, so I just want to put that out there. I'm just thinking about back in the day. Now, Kyrou is a star player in money. I mean, he's not what is he, top 50 in the NHL?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is he's not Brett Hull, okay? But I'm thinking about back in the day when guys who had juice could make a comment about a coach they didn't like. They wouldn't then, and I'm not trying to pile on, but they wouldn't then turn course and cry that night. They would own the comment. You know what I'm saying? And my point is, Kyrou doesn't have that juice with the fan base for many reasons. And he's not Brett Hull by any stretch of the imagination or any of those guys. Yeah. But my point is, if a player back in the day had juice and they actually could have a comment like that against a coach who's leaving, I think they stick with the comment. And they say, okay, I meant it.
We should look up Brett Hull's best comments after games, and I bet you could find some monsters.
And the reason I say the context isn't going to be perfect ever is because Craig Berube is beloved, and that's the thing. And he's the only man to ever bring a cup to St. Louis, and the fans absolutely love him, and they feel like he was done wrong.
Do you think the fans that booed him will feel sorry for him seeing him in tears, or it only will make them hate him more because he's not playing better, just whining? Fernando. Well, no, dude, they're going to have sympathy for him.
Go to Hot Take Central's Twitter account and vote on the poll.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, check the poll out. And,
two very fair options. What were they?
Sympathetic figure or fraud.
Oh, God.
New segment.
No, I just know the fans here, man. You could just, I'm telling you, they're going to look at that and they're going to change their ways for a little bit. But then if Kyrou's not good on the wall and he's not playing well, then it's going to go back.
If he doesn't play defense and turns the puck over,
but he could turn into a hero.
This could linger. I think a lot of it has to do with him performing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is going to be the perfect opportunity to have someone to blame for the continuing woes of this team.
You know what this could be, though?
What?
This could become Colton Wong. Hopefully. I say that in a good way, because if Kyrou is really good for the next 5 to 7 years and the Blues win and he scores 35, 40 goals, every national game will say, there's Jordan Kyrou. He scored 2 goals. Remember 4 years ago when he cried and he was booed? What a great reclamation project story of overcoming.
Except you could ask Colton, hey, you had a double in the second inning. This is 3 years later. Yeah, but I got picked off. This will be Kyrou saying, I remember that time where I cried because I said mean things about Peru.
Colton Wong walks off 5 years later. All right, guys, you want to start with the pickoff? I had a double tonight, but do you want to start with the pickoff first?
Pronger got booed like you can't believe when he was here in the 90s at his first couple years. You know, they traded Shanahan for him. You know, people loved Shanny in this
I get
town,
that.
especially the women. And then Pronger comes here, and he kind of was like, he wasn't very good off the bat. You know what I mean? He got bashed, dude, by everybody for a couple years, and then he became the monster. Then they're like, okay, and then Pronger owned the locker room. Then he had all this confidence.
He's also tough, though.
But at the beginning, he was Bambi.
Was he like that last night?
What do you think?
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying Chris Pronger's built different.
Yeah, he is.
I'm not saying he didn't play. He right off the bat, it was all puppy dogs and ice cream, but like Chris Pronger is a freaking man. He's a warrior.
I will say this: if you do cry like that, like you're not going to shake that for a long time, even if you do play well. Ask Ryan Smith, Mr. Canada. We had him on, dude. He's like everywhere I go still because he cried after something. And it wasn't even that big of a deal, but he was crying, and he gets everywhere he goes, just never escapes you.
Oh, dude. And it's
Ever.
When did that happen, by the way?
Years ago.
So think about this. Think about it now with GIFs and memes and anytime. Like, think about the Joe Kelly, the face where now that was cool, but he went like this. Dude, opposing fan bases are going to have signs and pictures.
Just like Michael Jordan, like the Michael Jordan
crying
meme,
Jordan
or now
meme.
it's going to be the crying Kyrou meme. Yeah, it's going to be tough to shake that.
Unless he starts scoring goals. Then it's going to be beautiful. It'll be a turning point.
There's going to be signs and anytime you go anywhere, that you're going to be that guy. But whatever, you're making H. Schmill.
For Jordan Kyrou.
Jordan.
Are you saying in the clubhouse, in the room,
Yeah.
that Pronger was? I don't remember him ever being seemingly feeling the pressure or seemingly
No.
right. There's
He'd
a
be
difference.
pissed.
He would not be
just mad.
shedding a tear.
No.
Is he a Terminator? Does he have emotions?
I don't think so. I don't think Prongs has emotion. You know what I mean? He's like one way. This is how I am. He'll laugh. He laughs at everything. I like that.
He's great.
He laughs at everything.
I love going in the room and
smart.
talking to him. But he owned it.
He owned it.
You also knew, like, if you stammer or it's one of those questions that gets a little convoluted going from A to B, he's going to call you on it.
Or like,
and I love that.
There's so many videos of Andy in the locker room when Andy was young, like, hi. And Prongs would be sitting there and he'd talk to people. Then Andy would come over when everybody's gone. He's like, what do you want? Get over there. Like yelling at it. It's hilarious. There's video of that, man. Andy's just like this, like, hi. But he'd stay in there and he'd get his quote. You know what I mean? Kick Prongs.
He's the
Tortured
dean.
him.
Andy's the dean.
He is. That's so funny, man. Oh. Gary Templeton got booed big time and deserved it. Bob the Woodworker.
Well, he flipped off the fans, didn't he?
Well, that's a problem. Mm-hmm. You know.
And Whitey, right?
Oh, he did?
And Whitey, beloved.
Damn, that was tough to hear. It's obvious the kid cares. You got to feel for him. And as a dad, I can't help but imagine that being my kid and how tough that would be to go through.
Audi Exchange Kirkwood text line.
Yeah, baby. 855-282-8255. I was talking to Dan Rosen last night from NHL.com or whatever the hell it was. And they asked me about what the difference between these kids. They're so young and they're coming up. And I go, they're robots now, man. Like they could handle different things. They're taught at a young age when they're a superstar that this is how you handle it. You got agents talking. You got family advisors at such a young age. Like you're just groomed into knowing how to take different things and whatnot. I'm thinking and I told him, I go, imagine what happened to Connor Bedard. If that happened to me, my dad would lose his mind. Like we would be, my mind would be going crazy. Like I wouldn't be able to handle it. They wouldn't be able to handle it. But now these kids, like most of them now, these young players that are 18 years old, able to come in there and take the heat. Like a lot of them doing pretty damn good about it because they're groomed at a young age now. They're used to this stuff. They stay away from it or whatever the case is, man. Some of these guys. Imagine Bedard though, like you don't think everywhere he goes is still he's still taking that beating about his mama. Like that's awful, man. Like that's hard to shake that mug too.
Baseball, though, I remember when Bryce Harper first came up as a kid.
Yeah.
As a kid, you can be groomed all they can groom. But Bryce Harper came up. Someone asked him a question about being out. Remember? And he said, "That's a clown question, bro." That became a meme. Bryce Harper was legit from day one.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that question was bad either. They asked him.
What was it?
Because he was in, I believe it had to be Toronto. He was 19. So somebody asked him, will you have a beer? Because you can legally have a beer. And I think Bryce Harper, is he a Mormon?
Is he?
No idea.
I don't know.
He doesn't really.
Well, I think he's pretty religious, and I think he doesn't drink. But I don't think that was some crazy question.
No. Here's my exact thoughts on the Blues fans. You are so quick to boo him once, yet so quick to forgive him. I will not forgive Kyrou. He wants
I like
out,
this. I like this.
and I don't want him in St. Louis. Wake up, STL. Keep booing. Claus.
I do kind of like this, and here's
Jeez
why.
Louise.
Because the fans beat the crap out of him, then they saw him crying. Oh, we're sorry. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What changed other than you saw that he was upset? Did you not know that Kyrou wouldn't have liked your comments that you were spewing on Twitter? He wouldn't like the fact that you were booing. But now that you see it, now you changed your mind. Like you knew.
That's how people are, man.
Be pot committed.
Yeah, but you also
Go
want
all
the
in.
fan base to have forgiveness
Don't
as well.
tell the fans how to feel.
Imagine you messed up. No. Imagine
tell
you
the
messed up
fans
on the
how to
radio and
feel.
guys are all over you because you said something.
What'd you say?
That's
What'd
not- never
no.
happened.
You never
went
know.
after Wayno.
You never know. Trust me on that. And everybody's like on you, and then you do all this different stuff to try to revamp yourself, and they won't forgive you. Like, do you want that?
As long as they're listening.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Look,
I mean, they might not.
What is the old saying? Customer's always right. Fans are the customers. They're always right. They can feel however they
Yes.
want to feel. That's the truth. And to me,
But they're cowering.
if he gets a 2-goal game, all will be forgiven. Okay?
Well, yes.
I don't think the boos stop if he turns the puck over, doesn't get back on defense or whatever. I think then that path will continue. It's all up to how he plays, in my opinion.
And all they did was boo. It's not like they were cheering like, I hope.
What do you want them to throw bricks at him?
No.
Stab him?
And
Racist
there
tweets?
were some
No.
there were some boos for the Cardinals last year. I think Gio got booed. I could
There's
think
some
of
boos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you,
for sure.
It
do you
happens.
view Jordan Kyrou as a sympathetic figure in this situation?
Yes and no. You know what I mean?
Do you view him
because
as-
I know how hard that must be to get booed like that, and the whole hockey community chirping you. Like, it's tough, man. Again, it's
Why
tough.
do you view him as more of a sympathetic figure than you did Nazem Kadri?
Ooh.
Because you said it this week. You go,
The victim?
the victim?
The victim?
Sarcastically.
I know.
Because he dealt with blatant internet racism.
Can I tell you the difference in my
Because
opinion?
I know how he plays, and I know what he's doing on the ice, and I know how
Kadri
dirty he
looks-
is. He's
Kadri-
a dirty little son of a biatch.
Andre looks for reaction.
why.
His thing is to stir it up. That's what makes him effective. Kyrou was kind of new at this, and he was just reacting.
One's dirty.
in a
one's not.
question. You don't think there's a difference there? I do. One guy's thing is to kind of stir it up, right?
That's what he does. He elbows
Kyrou's-
guys from behind. He hits guys from behind. He's
I don't
crazy.
I don't think he stirs it up racially, though, Kadri, which is what went back at
does?
him.
He knocked out our goalie.
Yeah, and the goalie's white.
He single-handedly, our white goalie, by the way, the only white goalie in the league, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so you just said, and you just made a point. I'm not saying the reaction he got was right. I'm just saying they're two different type players. One guy's goal is to get a reaction. I'm not weighing in on whether racism is good. That's what you just took the argument to that
Wait,
point.
is racism good? 'Cause
What I'm
Kunis
saying,
said it is.
what I'm saying is the reaction was awful. But this is a guy whose goal is to stir it up, really on and off the ice. To Kyrou, who probably just wanted to go home and nap
Yeah, and crawl into a hole.
and not be the focus of attention because the coach just got fired. So yes, I think
One's a dirty
it's
player,
two
one's
different.
not.
It's two different situations.
And also, okay, was it the COVID? Did he knock out Falk?
Yes.
Okay, here's the thing with Kadri.
Good memory.
Well,
No, it's a big
No,
deal,
because
dude.
COVID is a fog. I couldn't remember if it was the COVID
Yeah.
year or whatever the hell year it
He
was.
knocked out Falk, too.
Here's the difference. Also. By the way, I joke, but internet racism is bad, okay? is bad.
Yes,
we all
of
agree.
course.
Here's why Nazem Kadri is not a sympathetic figure. Because he did this his whole career.
There it is.
He had knocked out multiple Blues superstar players that had changed the trajectory of seasons. And oh, by the way, he had literally just knocked out the Blues' best player, and the Blues actually had a chance. I'm not saying they would have won the series, but it was probably a coin flip.
Yes.
The Blues could have won that series, and who knows what happens. So after he
wait,
it was a borderline play.
No, it wasn't.
It was borderline.
Not that one. He was diving to try to score a goal.
Ask Cam. Cam's
Cole.
played. It's a play where you get a free run.
I listened to
you
you.
get a free run.
I listened to you the morning after that.
What'd I say?
You said it wasn't that dirty. He was going for a goal. It was a loose
No.
puck in the middle of the net.
It wasn't a penalty, but he knows exactly what he's doing. He's been in this situation way more times than he needs to be. He elbows guys. He hits guys from behind. He gets booted out of games like no other. He won't fight you. He's a dirty-ass player.
I'm sure
It's a
he is.
big difference.
I'm sure he is.
He is.
That individual
He's
play.
gutless.
He doesn't get the benefit.
Gutless,
He
dude.
does not get the benefit of the doubt
There it is.
because he has a history. And the other thing is, again, racism is bad. He had literally just changed the trajectory of the entire series by knocking out the Blues' best player, and now we have to feel sorry for him.
Yes.
Now we have to feel sorry for him
Blues fans
after
are
he
racist.
knocked out the Blues'
Thank
best
you.
player on a borderline, whatever. I agree with Cam. It's something he knew he could get a free
Hell
shot
yeah,
within
man.
the rules in that particular situation.
Oh, yeah.
That's his identity.
Yep.
You're comparing that to a kid who just, the beloved coach just got fired, and you're one of the culprits. I want a nap.
Yeah, dude.
And by
Because
the
of
way,
I like
race,
that
no.
question. I like
because
the
of
question.
race, you're saying it they're the same.
Bryce Harper is a Mormon, by
I'm
the way.
I'm saying that Jordan Kyrou had a worse reaction to a lesser offense. Here's what I'm saying. Nazem Kadri called out some of the racist messages that he was getting, and that was what he did. Jordan Kyrou got booed and then cried.
That's all he did?
Yes.
Okay.
I think people screenshotted a bunch of Instagram posts. Like, did his wife do it?
I don't know. It's 13-year-olds in the basement with Cheetos on their stomach. They'll get you.
Exactly.
Okay.
They'll get you.
Exactly.
Shot at me.
Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm
Shot at
saying.
me.
Listen, Nazem Kadri getting racist messages is worse than Jordan Kyrou getting booed. Yet Jordan Kyrou crying about being booed is a bigger reaction than Nazem Kadri gave to his racist message.
Oh, the hockey
No,
world,
it was
no.
gigantic.
I stand with Nas.
Oh.
There was a hashtag.
Oh.
There were placards.
Saying St. Louis fans are racist, calling them all kinds of. There are articles in Denver about how bad the fans are here. Yeah. They turned it all the way
They're doing
against
that.
us.
They're doing that here
After
too.
hurting our
They're doing that
goalie.
here too.
Oh my god.
They're doing that here too
No
after
offense.
Kyrou.
No offense. Your initial premise is so watered down now that it needs mouth to mouth.
And then David Perron was so pissed at the situation. He cross-checks Kadri, elbows him, cross-checks him, and then he got put in the racist pool too by their fans, saying he's going after Kadri.
That was a racist elbow.
It was psychotic.
Racist elbow.
A chicken wing.
Boy, they did a good job on just spinning that damn thing. They did. They spun it right against the organization and the Blues fans.
And by the
Drove
way,
me nuts.
can I
Blues
just say
fans are
this
getting
too?
bashed for this.
Look, every fan base has a percentage of scum and racism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every single fan base, every team you cheer for has a scummy, racist fan on the internet that also says horrible things.
Not
Just
the
so you
battle.
know.
Not the Battlehawks.
Not the.
No, well, the Battlehawks. You need to have a few more fans. By the way, I was at the Battle Dome last night.
Yeah.
Such
man.
nostalgia.
So beautiful.
And I see the Battlehawks logos, and I see there's still Rams.
Any pictures up or anything? Anything new? They paint anything?
A lot of dirt fans. It was fun. There was
Lot
a
of gray.
sign, and it said "No parking for Rams
I'm not
event."
going to allow chirping of the Battlehawks.
I'm sorry.
Not up in here.
It's the dome.
Not up in here.
Yeah.
It's the dome.
The Battle Dome.
Man. Let's go, Wombat. I agree. Try that in a small town.
Hey, I got that F7.
In a small town. Kyrou for Nylander. Yeah, right. Dude makes millions to play a game. He'll be fine. He will be fine. No doubt. I won't say he's not. Oh, let's see here.
Am I wrong? But if he comes out next game, next handful of games, has a 2-goal, 1-goal, 2-assist game, all is well.
All is well, except for like the internet, because it's not going away.
Which never
But the fans
But
are
there
dies.
will. But people will push back if he's playing well. People on the internet will even push back against those that want to keep it going if he's living up to what he's making.
Cole, you're getting into Bill Russell and childhood lessons territory. Step down, child, Wombat.
No.
What was the exact take?
It kind of moved.
Kadri's a great guy.
Moved around.
I like that.
My
I like the
original question was, why did Cam defend Jordan Kyrou more than he defended Nazem Kadri? And what my point was is that Nazem Kadri's reaction was lesser than Jordan Kyrou's, despite, I think, receiving more shrapnel than just boos at a stadium.
If I played against Kadri, I would try to catch him hard.
I think it was.
And I
Kadri's
think
more
you
of a
should.
victim
I'm telling you
than
that right now.
Kyrou.
Telling
and
you.
I just said it. They're not. The situations are too separate and different to compare.
I like it.
If Adam Wainwright, well, first of all, he would never
And
get
Cam
booed.
wants a job with the Blues, okay? Jeez.
I want to play.
He wants to go
Hey,
down
tough
there
guy.
and bang the drum.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Do the Jumbotron.
Wave the towel. Go retire that guy.
Wow, no respect for a legendary
man.
fan, honestly.
His face is on Enterprise
A
Center.
legendary fan.
Legendary fans.
Yeah, how about
You're
Bucknut
not
guy?
from here. You're a Penguins guy.
What about Bucknut?
Lay off, Towel Man.
I hate Bucknut. I hate
Towel
Buckeye
man.
guy. Jack Nicholson, I have a little bit of respect for. Who are the others?
Spike Lee?
Clipper Dare. I hate Spike Lee.
Damn.
Oh, why?
Racist.
Why? Yeah.
Because he tries to make the games all about himself, or at least he used to.
I get you on that.
He
I get you
going
on
and
that.
yelling at Reggie Miller, acting
get
like
you
you're
on
a
that.
player. Are you kidding me? You're not
get
that
you
big of
on
a
that.
deal. And I haven't seen
Your
any of
movies
your
aren't that
movies.
good anyway.
Thank you.
Well, 30 years ago they were.
What have you done for me lately?
And I'm sure somebody older than me may have more appreciation for him than I do,
I
just
agree with
because
you,
of the
Cole.
generate.
He's
Spike
annoying.
Lee.
I agree with Cole on this.
Yeah, he's annoying.
Thank you.
As a Knicks fan,
Thank you.
Annoying.
he does. Hey, look at me. He does sort of get in the way of the game sometimes.
Marlins man, I think is goofy.
Oh, you think? He's super rich, though. So is Spike Lee.
I kind of admire that, but at least Marlins man actually shows up. Well, once upon a time when he was a big deal, he actually shows up to all the events and not just Marlins games.
And he contacts the local media in every market to do interviews.
Okay,
yeah.
Yes.
Interview me,
never
please.
mind. Never mind.
I'm with the cat.
Don't like him anymore.
Kyrou's first hat trick or multi-goal game. All the boo birds will be gone. Last night's game, 1 assist +3. I believe the goals will come. You can't teach what he has. A natural goal scorer. He had 39 goals last year. Actually 37, but it's all good. No big deal.
And then Blues fans are going to hope other players start crying because those tears lead to goals.
Yes.
But don't you think, and I agree and I hope that the boo was a one-day deal. We all know that every fan base loves to have the whipping boy. And for the Blues, it evolved. You could start with I'm talking about from when I got here. Eric Brewer at the beginning, he's the captain.
He got rocked.
Okay, Bergie for a while there. J-Bo for a while. Colton Parayko was really wearing it the last couple years. Don't you think it's fair to say now it's clearly Kyrou? So even if, look, he scored 37 goals last year, and folks were chirping him.
Yeah.
Right?
Cam.
Yeah, they were. He was dash 36 too, which is really hard to do. Go ahead.
If John Mozeliak cried in a press conference because fans were booing him, and he was just like,
Just say what you're saying.
Say what you're saying.
Just say what you're saying, which is
What would
that
I
he's
do?
protecting the Blues, he's protecting hockey
Protecting
players.
who?
Thank you. If it were John Mozeliak and he was crying and saying I really work for the fans, I love the fans, and for them to boo me it hurts and stuff like that, and I respect this guy, respect that guy, you'd be like, sit down, nerd boy.
Probably.
Would you say Waino's music was good if he was a longtime beloved defenseman for the Blues?
Ooh.
If he had a concert, if Waino had a concert after the last game saying the same music, would you still chirp his music?
If Chris Pronger did a country concert after a Blues game, I would chirp the living hell out of him. Just so all y'all know.
That'd be so funny.
Just so all y'all know.
We can go for a ride,
Jimmy.
stay at home, build a fire.
Not bad.
I'm gonna be in a movie.
A Spike Lee
Pretty
movie.
good.
Play our favorite songs live.
I used to be an actor, but now I'm a singer too.
You went up a little.
That all sounds
Real good to me.
And I'm
Good
in-
job. Good job,
Pretty-
Wayne.
pretty good.
Let me ask you this.
Pretty good.
It's not
'Cause
that bad.
I think this is
Pretty
what
good.
it comes down to.
I was
God
the one who
awful.
defended
John
his music.
Mazalak, I don't know, what is
God
he, 50?
awful.
Is he 50-something, Mazalak? What is he?
I don't know.
54?
He's been around for a long time. He came up as like an IT guy and then got into the baseball. He's been around a long time.
Worked his way up.
Kyrou is what, 25?
Yeah.
he's kind of new at doing interviews. I mean, I'm talking about where there's a lot of people around him and he's the focal point. It's a different comparison.
It is.
If Mo started balling, you probably would rip him for that.
I know.
Come on, dude. You've been around a while.
Kyrou's been in the league for, what, 5-6 years?
not a-
Come on.
he's
He's
not a
not a
kid-
child.
he's not a child
He's
anymore.
25 years old in his
How many
sixth
times
year
has
in
he
the
been the
league.
focus, though? I mean,
In
around
Canada,
the contract.
growing up in Canada as a stud, he's probably been interviewed since he was 12.
Yeah, no, you're right on that, Charlie. He's
sound-
not a kid anymore. He's not Bedard. He's not 18. He's not Fantilli. He's not your boy.
Maybe because I'm so old, I still think
He's not your boy. He's been in the league 5 years. When I was 25, God, I've already played for 2 different teams.